I'll start with the first. Emma Ampa is one of our guests. She is the first female finance director in a leading textile manufacturing company in Ghana. That is the Textile Ghana Limited, what we always know as Blisco or GTP. Emma is an astute finance professional with over 13 years combined experience across multiple multinational audit and manufacturing companies in Ghana. As the founder of the Empowered Network, she strives to ensure that every member is empowered with the knowledge to discover themselves and also to give themselves the best in everything they do. Emma, welcome to today's program.
Thank you, Jemima.
Okay, thank you. So I'll quickly introduce our second guest for today. Ophelia Mawina Chenupo is one of our guests, popularly called Mawina. She creates inspiring content on various topics through her blog. And if you haven't tried, please try and go to her blog, omcsdigest.com. So many topics there. She's a professional accountant. She works as a business consultant with E&M and Associates, where she's a partner as well. Mawina, you're welcome to today's program.
Thank you, Jemima.
Okay, so ladies, Emma, Mawina, you're welcome once again. And today we have our audience who are joining us online all across the world. So Emma, if I could start with you, what has been your journey so far in your finance career?
Okay, let me take this opportunity to also say good evening to all the wonderful people who have joined this meeting. And we hope that after the next few minutes or hour, we'll be able to learn something from today's session. So Jemima, if you talk about finance career, then I'll say I started in 2018. But prior to that, I joined one of the Big Four accounting firms in 2010 after I was done with my university education. There, I did 1 year of national service, and then after that, I was retained. And then I spent 8 years with that employer. And then in 2018, I decided to try new things and move totally from the strict accounting consultancy sort of thing and move into industry. So I joined Premium African Textiles, which is one of the subsidiaries under the Vlisco Ghana Group, as the finance manager. And from there, I spent about 2 years in that role. And then I was given also the role of a marketing and sales controller, a role that I was performing until December 2022, when I was given the acting finance director role. And then in June 2023, I was made the substantive finance director of my company. So that has been my journey so far, in total about 13 years since I finished my university education. And in between all of these, I was also studying for my ACCA professional exams. So when I joined the accountancy firm in 2010, I spent 4 years writing my ACCA exam. So in 2014, I got membership into the ACCA. And then in the same year, I also got a membership into the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana. So that has been my journey so far till date. I'm sure as we continue, we'll speak about more things. Yeah.
Wow, 13, 14 years and continues.
Yes.
Quite a number of years. Quite a number of years. Quite a number of years. Okay, interesting. So Mawina, I can see that you do a lot of, when it comes to economic empowerment, mostly involving women in diverse way in your role as a business consultant. What has been your journey so far in furthering women economic empowerment?
Okay, so this women empowerment, it started my journey from like my career, because going through the career unless you have that experience of what happens, the reality of things, so that when you are talking to it, it's something you've actually walked through it. So similar to Emma, like after university, I did my NSS at PwC. So I worked there for like 5 years. And everyone knows, anyone who's worked with audit knows that audit is not a level playing ground for for women. Yeah, because it takes long hours and some sacrifices on your part. But for me, it's knowing that it can be done, knowing that you have someone you can work this journey with. One person can't do it alone. So finding that group of people you can actually support each other. When one is down, someone is also pulling that person up. So personally for me, I know everything is achievable. So whenever I speak to any woman, like naturally I want to know where you're heading towards. I want to ensure that it's not any self-limitation that you're imposing on yourself, that you're actually going to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Because reality is you need money. Money can actually be used to achieve our goals and turn things around. And if women don't have that money, we can also be able to create that terrain that we want to create for other women.
Interesting, eh? We keep hearing most of the time that there are limited space at the top and the seats are even few, not to talk about we as women also taking part. Emma, from your journey so far, how has it been? Is it really that the seats at the top are really few? You are a finance director, so can really speak to it.
Okay. Interesting question. Okay, so Jemima, so the way this thing, from my experience over the years and moving up the ladder in the corporate world, what I have noticed is that as you move up, it's more like a pyramid sort of thing. So as you move up, it gets narrower. Okay. So when you, so let me take for instance, where I did my national service and then 8 years. In that accounting firm, a lot of us came in from school and we started as audit trainees. And then based on how you perform and all that, you become a senior, you become a manager, senior manager, director, and then a partner. The number of partners and directors that you have in these firms cannot be compared to the number of audit trainees and seniors. They are more. So to answer your question, are there a lot of seats up there? The answer is no. But are there opportunities for people to occupy those seats up there? My answer is yes. It is not a place where everybody can go. The seats are not a lot. So you have to really justify why you should be there through your competency, through your work ethics, and all the things that you would have demonstrated along the lines of your career. Then you can find your way there. But the truth is, there aren't a lot of spaces up there to be taken, but there is the opportunity to be there. I hope I answered you.
Yeah, great take from there. There are opportunities, even though the seats
Yes.
are few. Right.
Yes, there are
So
opportunities.
Mawena, do you agree that there are opportunities and how can we take advantage of these opportunities?
Okay, so we usually have to look at it in the long term. So like Emma said, yes, there are opportunities, but you have to work to justify your inclusion. And I always say that if you want to get there and the environment and circumstance are limiting you and don't allow you to get there, you are either fighting to get a place to show someone it can be done, or you create a new space to show someone that, okay, this ceiling can be broken. Then you work to also empower someone who can also build on you from there, build on what you've done. That's where you come in as a mentor. So it makes the journey easier to where you've been. Then the person also has that zeal to build on, to break those ceilings. So that's how it works. So if you work hard to get there, you can't get there, limitations, no complaint, create one for others.
I like that. When you get there, you create one for others. And for both of you, one good thing is both of you have started some empowerment program targeting a couple of people. So Mawena, if you could briefly talk about yours, then Emma will also come in to talk about hers.
Okay. So personally for mine, they started even workplace, like even working with your team members, coaching them, empowering them, in industry too. The female team members, even those were not even in my department, I was kind of vested in their personal growth. I wanted to know why you are doing this, why you are here, pushing you on, how is it going? You think that I'm part of your your goals, but I will just be pushing you on. So it was there. Then now I formed Youth Thrive. It's the target to get women to live fulfilled in every aspect of their life, your wellness, your spiritual, and your financial. Money is important, so you can't have goals without money. Yeah, so I push them. Usually it's sometimes you don't know where to pass, where to start from. So we have sessions to know where you should start, take baby steps. Sometimes we look at the big picture and forget the little steps we have to take. And also people already are there, but they feel so overwhelmed. So sometimes they need a guide to work with them to kind of, should I say, modify the lifestyle a bit to still achieve the goals. So for me, that's what I do, one-on-one and annual like wellness retreats.
Good. So just to bring this, Mawena has a group, Mothers for Change, where she has a couple of women who had joined the group. Aside that, you have started the Youth Thrive, which is a mental health awareness program targeting mostly women as well. Emma, let's talk about TEN, T-E-N.
Okay, so 10. I like how you pronounce it 10. So that's the Empowered Network. So this group was started in 2019. The original intent was to provide or use the medical professionals within my network to provide information to especially mothers for maternal and then child health. But along the line, I realized that, so this is the thing, the professional medical practitioners I was looking up to was my husband and then people within his network and all. But we all agree that these people can be very busy sometimes. So I said, okay, why not expand it to also include the things that I can also give? And so I added on other things, including financial awareness, financial information. I bring resource people to come and talk to people on legal matters. So basically, initially when it was created, it had women in mind, but now I have opened it up to include both men and women. And the whole idea is to empower people with information, to create a community where people can feel free to share ideas without judgment. Nobody is judging you. Come as who you are, and let's see how we can bring the best out of each other to ensure that we are operating at optimum level. So that is what the 10 is about. I have a community on Facebook. For now, I'm only on Facebook, and it's a private group. So you would have to search for it on Facebook to be able to join, or somebody in the group would have to add you to join. So you can search for the Empowered Network and be part of us.
Yeah, I remember when I joined one of your sessions, you had two guests who were talking about taking a career break, whether you are ready or you are not.
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember.
Very, very
that was a very, yeah.
I like the way both of you had brought in the essence of mentoring. And one thing I like about it is you do it in a unique way. You have the avenues, whether it's an annual retreat, whether it's an online, whether it's a one-on-one, whether you are looking at mental health, whether you are looking at your reproductive health, your financial health. It's a holistic thing, and we all believe that we need all these to become whole.
Exactly.
Have there been times that you felt like you are not giving much of yourself as a leader? Who will take this? Marina, you seem to smile.
Ophelia will take it first.
Oh yeah, like there certainly, like there are those times that comes that sometimes you question yourself. Reality is there are times that I've cried. I think I've told a friend I've cried. Like you go into a meeting, you come out, and you're like, it's just that I don't understand. You know, you did your very best, but the feedback from the meeting can be so like. So there are times you cry. That's the reality of it. Yes. So there are times I don't feel like I'm doing enough. But also looking in hindsight, I realized that sometimes we are looking for the validation. We've done the work. We are waiting for the other party to say, "Oh, you've done well." Before we can actually say that we've done well. So I think there's someone speaking.
Yeah, we try a meeting. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So we are waiting for that validation. But in hindsight, I know that looking back, if I'd known myself well, known my capabilities, I know that within the circumstances and limitations, I did my maximum best. It shouldn't have affected me. But back then, you are waiting for that thumbs up from your boss to say, good job. When the boss doesn't give you that thumbs up, then it's like, I didn't do so good. Yeah, but it happens.
Emma, the boss is here. So when are the times that you need to give that thumbs up? How difficult has it been?
Okay, so your question was whether there's been instances where you felt like you were not giving enough. Is that the question?
Or you are not giving enough of yourself. Yeah, you felt so inadequate. Yeah, this is your role, finance director. Am I giving my all? Yes, of yourself, yeah.
Okay. So for me, I've never felt that way in my role as a finance director. Those who know me will know that I work like crazy. And the point is, I always want to give my best. And I also feel like women in general, I don't know, but when I speak to a few other women, I feel that they feel that way. Sometimes you are giving your best, but you think you are not there. And like Marina said, unless somebody is telling you that you are doing so well, you are trying to give all your best until you hear it, and you are wondering whether you are really doing well. So always, I'm looking for ways to innovate, ways to add something to the team, ways to do something new. So on that front, I would say no. But there are also other aspects of my life that sometimes I feel like I don't think I'm giving enough. Like last year, I had a really, really tough time trying to, battle with, like really battling with myself when it comes to 10. I didn't have, because of my workload and all that, I didn't have the kind of time I would usually have for the activities of 10. And so I was feeling some guilt there. I felt at that area of my activity or of my life, I was not giving so much. And I felt I was giving too much attention to my corporate job than other things. But for my role as a finance director, I'm yet to feel that I sometimes I didn't feel I'm overworking myself. Yeah. That's all right.
Interesting. So I think one thing that both of you have pointed out is in being a leader, you need to see how you are going to impact society. And both of you are doing it in one way or the other. Because the plan is just not to be at the top, but what are you also giving back to the other? If we look at it in terms of today's theme, inspire inclusion. Now let's ask ourselves, you have been included as leaders. In what way are you inspiring the others? Because somebody will ask, you have been inspired, what's next? You have been included, what's next? Who will take one. Marina included What's Next. Emma, Inspired. Anyway, which one will be the take from here? What inspired
Okay.
you? What's next? You were included. What's next?
Okay. So I will take first. Mine is inspiration, right? So you are asking if you've been included or inspired. What's next? In the corporate world, it's really difficult to include women in a lot of things, except when the organizational culture explicitly allows it. So there are some organizations that when you enter into it right from the get-go, you can see diversity and inclusion being demonstrated, irrespective of your gender, your age, where you are coming from. As long as you have the qualification for the job and you are competent enough to do it, you'll be given that role. But there are also other organizations where you enter and then they are looking at other things like gender, age, how long you've been in the organization, and all those things. So as women, we have to go through all of these challenges in the course of duty. And for me, I have been honored to have been included to get to this level. The question is, what am I also doing to ensure that others are included? I try in my very own way to ensure that work that is available or roles that are available are open to all, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of where you are coming from, what your name is, what you wear to work. Are you able to do the work? And if the answer is yes, then you are given the role. And as women, we make a lot of, I don't want to call it noise, but we do a lot of advocacy to say we want to be included. We want the men to accept us. We want the employers to give same or equal opportunities to us. Once we are given that opportunity, we need to demonstrate that we fully or we truly deserve it. We have to demonstrate to whoever gave us that opportunity to sit at the table, to be counted at the table, to be at that small space that a few people have the opportunity to be. If we get to those positions, we need to demonstrate that we really deserve to be there. And not that today you are calling in to give one excuse or the other. Today I'm having abdominal pains, because women, we also come with a lot of issues, and that's why sometimes when you are going to look for a job, people prefer the opposite gender, because today I'm having abdominal pain, tomorrow my son has a headache, tomorrow and this and that. If you do that, then you are not also providing opportunities for those who are also behind you to be given the opportunity at the table. So it's a hand in, how do we call it? It's a give or take. You are given the opportunity. You also have to ensure others are given the opportunity by demonstrating that you deserve it. You needed to be there. You've been given the opportunity and you are doing it right, to the extent that nobody can question why you are there. Once you do that, then you open the opportunity for others to also be there. Yeah.
Very good point, Emma. Very good. Mauna, if you could also bring yours in, then.
So I totally agree with Emma. So for me, after inclusion, what next? Action. Because you've been given a seat. Now all eyes on you. There are people who are just waiting to say that, like, this person won't do well. So they are just waiting for the evidence. They are like with their popcorn and their drinks, shocked, waiting for you to fail. Then they can say, yeah, like it happened that way. So it means you have to work extra hard. And you don't look only, like Emma said, not just at yourself, you have to look at the bigger picture. You get it? Because if you fail, it means you are closing the door for other women to have that opportunity. You get it? But in the process of being at the table and justifying your inclusion, I always say, don't lose your uniqueness. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose your faith just to be counted and more, like, as part of the table to get that thumbs up. And I always say that we wouldn't even be having these conversations if all humans, we had policies that were more human-centered. because we are talking about women. There was a time I had a conversation with a man because of what I do, and he's saying that it's all women. Now the men will be suffering, and we get to a point now we have to have what the name policies for men, because we are concentrating on the women and ignore the men. And now we get to a point where the women are empowered. I think in the country, I've forgotten, I was reading about it. Now they said the men are not, they're having low self-esteem. Because I don't remember the country, I'll check the country. Now the women are so empowered that now the men are having self-esteem issues. But if you have policies that are human-centered, you know, caregiving can be a man or a woman, but policies that give that opportunity to all, then we wouldn't need to be fighting for this inclusion. So for me, I mean, have the table, be there, action, bigger picture, help others. Yeah.
I like that. Action. And action means we need to act now. So I think one thing I take from both of you is we have been given the opportunity, we have come in, now we need to perform. I believe that most of the time you hear people giving excuses about challenges. Everyone has challenges, whether you're a man or you're a female, whether you're a child or you're an adult, everybody has challenges. So whatever your ability to go through that challenge is what we call life. Imagine living without challenges. You are not living. You are not living at all. So in that capacity, what can you say have been some of the challenges that you have had along your journey? Emma, you are smiling. And if you can share some specific ones.
There's been a lot of challenges, but I don't think they are peculiar to me, because when I have other female friends who are also in this space, and so we chat a lot, and I realize that the challenges I may be experiencing may not be peculiar to me. So especially when you find yourself in an area like finance, where people have the perception that finance is for men. I recall when I joined my employer in 2018, a man walked into my office and then said, this desk you are sitting on, are you sure you can do the work? And then I just smiled. He was like, this job is for men. Even the men are running away from it. What makes you think that you can do it? Even the men don't close early and you want to come and do this job. And then I smiled. And as time went on, I was asking myself, is it that I'm not doing the work? Because this guy made me feel like there was so much to do that as a woman, I could not do it. So yes, stereotyping, it's one of them. There are certain roles that people think that women should not fill. That is one. Then there's also the issue of unfair remuneration. This is something that doesn't just happen. I don't think I'm the only one who's experienced it, but I know others too have. You find yourself in situations where you're on the same level with your male colleagues. You may even be giving more than they are doing or something, but at the end of the day, you are earning less than them. Yeah. And here also, I recall I was having a chat with one of our HR directors at the time, and he told me, but you're a woman. What do you need so much money for? You are married. Your husband will be giving you money, you know? And so that also is some sort of unfair treatment or challenge that women go through in the corporate world. And it's not just where I used to, work or anything. It's very common. Read about it and you see that it is very, very common. You find a man doing something today, the position is vacant, bring in a woman, the woman will be given less than what the man was taking. And it is a challenge because it can be very demotivating unless personally you are looking at the end goal for you. And then also women, we give birth, right? And some of the challenges I've had was when my kids were so young and I have to juggle between work and also their well-being. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be lacking at work, neither do you want to also be falling short of your responsibilities as a mother towards your kids. you know. So being able to juggle those two has been a real challenge. But thankfully, I'm out of that phase now. And so once you get out of that phase, it becomes a roller coaster. But it is a challenge that every woman will go through, especially if you want to raise a family. And at that point, you'll be hearing a lot of voices, okay? Voices that would make you feel like you are inadequate as a mother. The only way you can become adequate is if you quit your job and then you come and sit home and take care of your child full time. That is the only way you feel like, oh yes, I got there. I mean, I got to that point where I felt, no, I have to leave the corporate world and then just come and, stay with my kids and take care of them. That is the only way I'll feel like I'm being a mother, because there's this mom guilt that sometimes if you have to make certain decisions at some point in time, even though you have somebody who is helping you, okay, maybe you've had a family member who has decided or agreed to help you at that instant for you to achieve both, you still have that guilt in you that I think I should have been the one doing it and not Jemima. So I'm a bad mom. So I really had to battle with that. Those are also some of the challenges. But all of these things, Jemima, have made me a better leader. Okay. Because of the challenges I've been through and the things that I felt should have been done to me differently, I know what expectations will be of me, of my the people who work with me, okay, or my team members, what I can also do to make their working life a bit more comfortable than I had it, so that they can also give of their best. So for the challenges, there are a lot. If I want to talk about it, there are a lot. And sometimes you come home, you just cry, you cry, you cry, you wipe your tears, you put on your red lipstick, you put on your face powder, you get to work, and everybody thinks that everything is okay. But emotionally, psychologically, a lot is going on, especially when you have males reporting to you, and it's so unfortunate that sometimes, Jemima, for me, I like to lay it bare. Sometimes our male colleagues feel that women are some way. Okay. And so even if genuinely what you are doing, it's not some way, they would want to create the impression that it's some way. And culturally, some people don't like to also have women give them orders and all of those things. So all these things, if you want to intersperse culture with work and all of those things, and you also want to be able to do these things in a nice way so that you don't end up stepping on somebody's toe at the end of the day, it takes a lot of emotional intelligence and it's very challenging. Yeah.
It would have been endless. You were just telling us the journey, and I could just relate to it. I could just relate to
Yes,
it. But I like the point that you said. Resilience is what it has made us, and it has even made us succeed in our various roles. Marina, I saw you nodding and you kept smiling. Challenges. How has it been for you?
I think my stature already, when you see me, you think probably I'm like JHS or SHS student. So I think I remember one time when I assumed like a finance manager role, like there was this older man in the department, like he'll be like my father. So it's like the challenge. And I think there were only men in the department back then. So this cute, smallish girl coming to lead the department. So I started getting to know them one-on-one. But the first time I had my first shock, like the man came talking to me like a father, like this. I sat back, I was like, I didn't expect that. So I sat back, I was like, hey, this one, it means like it matters emotional intelligence. You have to find a way to navigate this, because culturally too, they are going to say like you are you have to also give some respect where it's due. But when the respect too is not, it has to be earned. So how you carry yourself too doesn't mean that because you are older than me, I also seal my lips. So I think one time he came to talk. Then I called him. I was like, Charlie, this is the work we have to do. I have to lay things bare. This is what we have to do. And this, so the way you talk and everything is, we are here to work, then gradually he himself, he cooled down and was given the due respect. So, and even when I go for external meetings, when you get there, oh, you are the one. It's like, I don't know whether they're expecting some tall lady with some. So it means when I'm going for meetings, I have to ensure that probably I'm wearing heels. I have to look the part. If I'm wearing flats, then forget it. Probably the finance manager has sent what's the name, her assistant or someone to deliver something. So sometimes my stature, my age, and everything comes in. And I think Emma mentioned the childcare, because I remember I used to call myself a beggar with a choice. Yes, I'll go for interviews. I'll go and talk as if I don't want the job. I'll tell you about that. Can I come to work at 9? Can I close at 4? You wonder whether this person is serious. Because for me, I believe that the interview is employer-employee. You are interviewing me, I'm also interviewing you whether you have policies that I can work with. Most of the time I don't get the job anyway, but I prefer to actually lay it bare instead of now coming and now finding excuses. Can I come at 9? I'll get the work done. I'll close at 4 so I can pick my kids, but I'll get the work done. So also being truthful. I know we need a job, but sometimes we also have to be realistic about it. And the other thing is also the other challenge I face with the work is there are days when you have like reporting timelines, like Emma mentioned, the childcare, and you are called in school that come and pick your child is not well, and maybe your partner too is equally busy, so you are the one who is supposed to go. At that point, if you're not careful, you might even unleash your frustration on the child. Why did you get sick? As if the child had like a hand in that. So now, unfortunately, you have to go and pick your child, meaning you have to stay over to actually ensure that you meet the deadline. So like juggling it all has been some of the challenges, yeah. And sorry, and also even in the workplace, getting that support, even like fellow women, fellow men, humans, let me call them human, supporting you, like, oh, today I'm stepping out, can you step in for me? If you don't have that support, it becomes very difficult to, yeah.
Okay, so Jemima, let me also add this quickly. I recall, so when Ophelia was talking about the fact that sometimes she goes for interviews and she wants to define her terms, I think it's a very good thing that we have to pick if it's workable for some employers. So I recall I was having a discussion with my one of my bosses in my career, the possibility of, sometimes working remotely, like working from home, because my journey is really far. And if I could once a while work from home. And apparently I didn't know that that was going to be a point for him to deny me of an opportunity. And because we were talking about a role that I was eventually supposed to take. And when the time got there, he opened up the role for what's the word? It's recruitment, yeah. And so I asked him, okay, I wanted to know, is it that I'm not competent to fill that role? And he said, no, it has nothing to do with competence. And so I said, okay, so I want to know why all of a sudden he's opening up the role outside, and I want to, when we have had that discussion that I was going to eventually open, and he told me it was because I started having discussions about flexible working hours. And so for him, he doesn't want, so for him, it's not about getting the work done, but he told me point blank, he wanted somebody who will always be there. Who would always be there. And it's not about really getting the work done, but somebody who would always be there. And because I was asking for flexible working hours, I was denied that opportunity. So these are some of the, challenges that we go through as women. And if you are not lucky to have a supportive husband or partner, you'll be frustrated, because sometimes when we go through all those frustrations, it is on them we come and dump it. We come and dump it on them. And so if you don't have somebody who, so it's two things. Either you come home, you talk to your partner about how you felt and all of those things, or when you come home and he does something that even irritates you, then all the frustrations you packed that you couldn't give to your boss at work, you now come and unleash it on him. So it's really a challenging thing for women in the corporate world, and our male colleagues have to understand this and make working for women as comfortable as possible. We understand that culturally there are some roles that are assigned to women, but we are saying that if we demonstrate that we have the competencies to also fill certain roles in the corporate world, please include us and let us do it. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Jemima.
I think we've lost it.
Yeah.
I guess we can continue with the conversation. She will join at a point, so maybe we can expand a bit on the point that was being discussed.
On the challenges.
Yes.
We've actually exhausted the challenges, but let me see. Is there okay? So maybe you're talking from
Okay, I was going to talk about
Yes, it's all
how we were able to, for me, how I was able to navigate some of those challenges. Because these challenges, they will definitely come. But the question is, how do you navigate it? You have to have, for me, what helped me was that I had people that I could talk to. Okay. You can have a mentor in the area you are moving. Like if it's the corporate world, you have somebody who is doing something similar, and sometimes when you talk to them, you realize that what you think is even an issue for you is peanuts to them. Sometimes when they share their story, realize that they may even be going through more than you are going through at the moment. And some of them, because of the experiences they've had, they're in a better position to advise you on what and what to do. And the way the corporate world works, it is better you talk to somebody who is ahead of you, because they would have seen it all at your level. So when you speak to somebody who is ahead of you, then the person can advise you to say, have you had a chat with this person? Have you discussed with that person? Something that you may have never thought of, but the person will give you ideas on one or two things to do. So for me, what has helped me was my network of friends and people I could talk to help me navigate that space. Yeah.
Thanks very much. Anna, do you have anything before we go to the procedure?
The common thing is taking it a day at a time. So at the end of the day, like even self-reflection, what went wrong? What can I do better? And the wins, like we always forget the wins. You don't need to wait for anyone. At the end of the day, today I sent my report, Charlie. Like, great day, I've done a good job. You have to pat yourself on the back. You don't wait for anyone to come and give you a high five that you've done a great job. So self-reflection helps, and it helps with your growth. Because probably you see what you did wrong. Next time you work to improve that. Something you did right, probably go on improving and building on it. Yeah, so that's what I'll add.
Thanks very much, Marina. And Emma, okay, Jemima is back. You can take over.
Oh, okay, Angie, thanks very much. So your closing remarks, Ophelia, you have said yours. Emma?
Okay. So for closing, I thought I saw somebody's hand up.
Okay. Yes. Yes. My hand is up. Hello?
Okay. So Desmond, if you could continue with your question.
Okay. Yes. Good evening. And then, in fact, I'm really enjoying the whole conversation. And in fact, it's something that I had wished my wife joined, but unfortunately, she's indisposed at the moment. I must actually admit that you are doing well, especially combining work and home. It's no joke at all. Since we are talking about the challenges, I want to personally ask whether, because I work in a female-dominated area, banking, where about 70-80% of my colleagues are female. So every day, at least somebody called Charlie, I'll be late because of this and this. You have to just quickly, understand the issues here and there. But there is something that is, coming up frequently. But I want to know whether you equally experience it. It's about number of children you wished you have, vis-a-vis you being a corporate lady now. That arrangement had to change just because of what we are doing. Because currently in my office, the ladies, the average is 2. Some their husbands say, look, we want 4, and they will say, oh, we no, 2 is okay for us. And so I want to ask whether your role as finance directors or in the corporate world has in any way affected your number of issues you would get at the end of the day and the rest. I just want you to have a bite on this.
Interesting topic. I don't know which of you will take it. You will get a lot of.
I'm laughing because he says the average he sees now is 2, and I have 2, and
Marina has 2. I also have 2.
Marina has 2. You also have 2. Oh, okay. And Desmond, the people who are really close to me, will know that I've been trying to lobby for a 3rd child for the past how many years? So I want to have another baby, but my husband says, no, I'm okay with 2. So if I had the opportunity, I would have had more children, I guess. So it has nothing to do with the role, in my opinion, because now there's a lot of support for women to have more children if they want to. I took my 2nd child to school when he was just 3 months old. And the school I took him through was like a home away from home. And I didn't feel guilty about it because my 1st child went to the school and I saw what they were doing. So if I had the opportunity to have another child, I know definitely I'm taking the child to that school. I think I should mention it here for those who are close. So in Westlands, there's a school by the police station. It's called Greens and Giggles Montessori. And that is why I took all my children. They give you very good treatment. So for me, I think the support is there. Even these days, some companies are allowing mommies to bring their kids and their nannies to work and breastfeed them, and then gives them the opportunity to close early. So in my company, for instance, you are given the opportunity. Right now, our managing director has extended the maternity leave to 14 weeks instead of the usual 12. And then you are given the opportunity to close 2 hours earlier than every other person until your child is 1 year. I mean, if I have all of this, what prevents me from having a baby if I want to? So I think these days, because of the noise we make about diversity and inclusion and all that, a lot of companies are even making it easier for nursing mothers and pregnant women to thrive. So I don't think there's really an issue with that. There's no correlation between childbirth and where you want to be on the corporate ladder. Yeah, in my opinion.
Let me just chip in. Banking is a bit, it's very conventional, and if you're assuming you are in the cage, I mean, until you balance, nobody leaves.
Okay,
Or
so
maybe
I can't
probably when
speak
you're
much. I can't speak
Uh-huh.
much. Okay,
yeah, so
sorry.
that is where, because
You
I
went
think that
off, so
is
I
what
thought you
I'm
were done.
seeing.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I think you can. I'm only trying to, because I think I left order for joint banking for the past a decade now, so I can speak to the banking area where, I mean, averagely that's what is happening. And you ask, you say, hey, I mean, the way I'm looking now, going back with this stress, no, I'm okay.
So
And
Desmond,
yes,
I wanted to say something. One thing I've resolved is having children doesn't always have to be your biological children. Personally, I look at how many people I'm able to impact. Today, I might have 2 children, but what if in the years to come, I have 100 people calling me a mother? That is what brings me so much joy. So as a woman, I'm looking at the number of people I'm going to impact. In my previous roles, when I used to become a children's service teacher, Now I look back and I look at how these children had evolved. Some are in the universities, some have gone back, and they even look at me and call me a mom. That I see to be so much joy, so much blessing. It's about the people you are going to impact, not your biological children. And that's part of these advocacy and these groups that we are forming to shape the lives of as many people as we can. As corporate ladies, we have picked so many things. We have gone through our careers. Back then, we didn't have a mentor. We didn't even have such a session to even speak to the finance director. Who are you to? But today we have the opportunity to see a finance director, a business consultant who is a lady, a chartered accountant who is a lady, and you're able to talk to. We are inspiring a lot of children, and that is what matters most. I hope we're able to answer your question well.
Yes, I think I'm left with Marina's take.
I you were just want to talk, and I knew you wouldn't go without me. So, like, I have two kids, but frankly, some personal issues, like the two is a number that my husband and I are aligned on. It's even a prayer topic that no mistake baby should come in anyway. But that is the two that that we have. But the reality of things is this also still plays a factor. This is, I've spoken about my situation, but in other situations, it also plays a factor. The level of support system you have, both at work and at home, and even the policies. There might be someone who is dreaming to have 5 kids, but even just sitting there and hearing the discussions going on, work and all that, the person was okay, maybe I don't have kids, I have one child. You get the point. So if work have policies that are more like supportive, I don't think that would affect the decision to have the number of kids, because the decision should be based, you and your husband, the number of kids you want to have, want to groom. And like the mama said, if you are bringing other people, not bloodline, that you want to raise and groom, but it shouldn't be based on the career you want to go, the career or the journey you want to take. I don't know whether I answered your question.
So very fantastic. In fact, I have to use the opportunity to actually thank you guys for, doing this. The women, my wife. You've been doing so much. Sometimes you just lie down and you just smile and you say, "Wow, if they can do this." And in fact, in the office, trust me, my support system, women, I can just trust them. The cage, account opening, customer service, they are the ones that I vibe more with, because I don't know, because they want to increase output, combine efficiency with output at the same time, because they want to go home too early. So you close early, they deliver the work, and look, I've always told them that, look, I just love their output. On
That's
Friday,
fun.
when we're having this, I think I
Thanks
pour
so
my
much.
heart
I
out,
think, I
and
think,
then
yeah, so Desmond, I think
yeah,
we are running out of time, but
okay,
I think one point he has brought up is, God willing, next year during International Women's Day, we need to bring our men to come and discuss us.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to bring our men here to come and discuss how they are helping our women. And I think it's a good point, Desmond, you have made. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. So,
Yeah.
Marina, you have given your closing remarks, right?
Yes.
Not yet. Okay, so we'll take your closing remark, then we'll take Emma, then we should be done shortly.
Okay. So just to wrap up, let me give Desmond, thank you for acknowledging seeing that role that women play and actually acknowledging it. It takes a whole lot for a man to actually acknowledge that. So closing remarks, key thing is choose your fight. The fact that we are all fighting for inclusion doesn't mean you go and sit at the wrong table. You end up just living a life of frustration. So know yourself, know your God, know God. The God factor, it helps a lot. Know God, every day be unstoppable, every day make a decision, take an action that will take you closer to your goals. And also look at those who have broken the ceilings, get closer to them, pick what they did, don't repeat the mistakes. If there's something you can add to that, you add, then you also create another ceiling for another woman. Yeah.
Great. Thanks. Emma, your closing remarks?
Okay, so for me, I would like to say that if you believe you can, then you can. And in the course of reaching your goals, you would encounter a lot of challenges, but you have to always remember why you first started and ask for help. Asking for help is not a bad thing. Don't try to be the perfect woman. You want to have it all, doing everything yourself at home, at work, and no. If you want to ask for help, please, by all means, feel free, ask for help. And always have a mentor that you can always look up to, and feel free to discuss your career, challenges with this mentor. And my words also to the men is, let's be kind at work, because women go through a lot. They go through a lot. Like Desmond said, at home, there's so much going on, even at work. So if a woman starts to drive, or when she wakes up in the morning, the preparation of the kids and dropping them in school and driving to work, there's so much going on in their mind. By the time she's even driving to work in the morning, she's thinking about what is going to happen in the evening. So women go through a lot. So when they come to work, please be kind and choose your words nicely. Don't be using certain words that you will not use on your colleague men on women. I mean, it doesn't help. And I believe that when women are empowered, they bring so much to the table because they feel belonged and they're able to go out of their way. So, and Jemima, thank you also for this evening. Personally, I've enjoyed the session as well.
Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Mawina. So my closing remark, I have been inspired to inspire. I have been included to include. I have been retained to retain. And I know that together we can all write our beautiful stories. Thank you all for joining today's session. Before we leave, if we could kindly turn on our cameras so that we can take our group photo. So as many as can. Angie, you help us with taking the photos for today. Let's take our group photos. So while turning on our camera, you're all encouraged to join our various social media handles, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter or X, Facebook as well, YouTube as well. If you want to watch the videos, we're also on YouTube. Let's connect on WhatsApp as well. Finance Gem Initiative, anything finance for yourself as a business person, non-finance. This video will also be uploaded. We can share. It's a form of inspiring other women also for higher firm. So Angie, we are set. So we can take the pictures now. Okay. I can see a lot of men. Eh? It looks like
That's nice.
I can see Jacob, Jeff, Desmond. Oh, thank you all for joining. So let's keep in mind that we'll have our monthly sessions. Let's get updated. Once we agree on the topic, we'll put it up and we'll continue. Thank you all for joining. Enjoy your evening. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Uh,
Bye.